7:01.
Francie Miller. Yes. Hannah Johnson. Yes. Carlos Carson.
Yes.
Chelsea Lovin. Yes. Jason Nolan. Dale Schmidt.
Yes. I'd like to welcome you here again. Those of you who are watching via the YouTube channel, we appreciate that. Have a lot to do here this evening. Just want to, at this time, open the floor to any public comments. So before I do that, I'd like to be sure that if you're here tonight to sign the attendance form back there on the table. We want to be sure to get you your attendance down for the meeting. Thank you for that. At the time, we just have one person here who'd like to share some comments again about the library. Jerry, if you would come forward, please. Thank you.
Good evening. My purpose here is not to be critical of this board or anyone in the district. I simply want to call attention to a problem that is abroad in our country and has now come to our doorstep. It is my hope that no one involved has an agenda beyond what is good for the students of this district. I would like to thank Dr. Stanford, the district superintendent, who was kind enough to reply to my request for a copy of the board policy and provide additional documents that are used as a criteria for selecting library materials. You have my thoughts from previous comments and correspondence, so I won't repeat them. But tonight let me put before you two additional concepts and a question. Concept one. I would like to review the chain of command that we have in this country. Our Constitution begins by establishing who the boss is. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. So, who ordained and established the framework for how we govern ourselves? We the people. Not a king, not the government, not an elite group that thinks they know what's best for the people. No, the ordinary people who live in the cities, towns, farms, counties, and school districts who know what is best for themselves, their children, and the communities. The people are at the top of the command chain. Next down the ladder are the elected representatives of we the people. These various legislative bodies and boards have the duty to stay in touch with their constituents and set policy to carry out the will of their boss, which is the people. At the bottom of the chain of command are the employees of the government, of the governmental unit, the representative that the representatives direct. They are to specifically carry out the will of the boss, the people. If employees are not carrying out the will of the people, things have gone wrong. The input of employees or outside forces should not be regarded as edicts coming down from on high, but mere suggestions offered from below. This school board is to represent and carry out the will of the people of this district, not an outside point of view. All across this country, we see state and local representatives of the people standing up to the socialist agenda. We see sanctuary localities for the unborn in the Second Amendment, states refusing to lock down, and school boards banning critical race theory and other things. Out of the horrible conflict of the Civil War, President Lincoln hopefully declared that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Concept number two. Shouldn't the values in the books in the library reflect the policies of the school board, which in turn should reflect the values of the people of this district? The criteria and materials I was given were the Library Bill of Rights and its interpretation. These guiding documents were authored by the American Library Association and include its recently adopted additional core values of equity, diversity, and inclusion, and social justice, which sound good until you understand them in their socialist agenda meaning. Equity means equality of outcomes instead of equality of opportunity. Diversity and inclusion means including every point of view other than the traditional values that made this country great. Social justice means identity politics that pit one group of Americans against another instead of promoting the good of every person. The Library Bill of Rights, which I understand you have in your packet tonight, states that every viewpoint must be included in a library. Here is my question. Are you adopting that as board policy? There are other groups that provide better criteria. The local school district is different from other libraries. It has to deal with the behavior of children resulting from the concepts it presents. If you are adopting policy that all viewpoints need to be advocated, then for consistency you will need to change other policies. Racism, which includes critical race theory that is part of BLM, would lead to bullying. If you advocate it, can you have a policy against it? If you advocate transgenderism, can you keep males out of the girls' bathrooms? If all points of view are welcome, can you keep drugs out of the schools? If you're going to adopt this new anything goes library policy, parents should be informed before the next school year begins. My solution would be to add a seventh point to the library board policy. It would go something like this. Concepts and values advocated in materials should be in line with the values expressed in other policies of the board and the consensus values of the people of this district. Survey the district, talk to the people, and ask them what worldview they want. Include photos of pages from some of the new books. I'm confident that the people of this district would prefer American patriotism and traditional values as opposed to Marxism, racism, transgenderism, and a chaotic anything-goes view. It is not an elite bureaucracy who is the guardians of the children of this district. Their parents gave them birth, go to work every day to feed and clothe them, and put a roof over their heads. It is the parents who lovingly tuck them in bed at night and would give their lives to protect them. They are the ones who pay for the salaries, the buildings, and the programs of the district. They are we the people. They are the bosses. It is not only your opportunity to protect your boss's children, but it is your constitutional duty. In conclusion, I would like to point out that I attended school in this district for all 12 years and graduated from what was then called Moore Township High School. Now, some have described those times when dinosaurs roamed the earth and rocks were still soft. Indeed, it was many years ago, and I have many good memories from those formative years. Times have changed, but some things are timeless and need to be preserved for succeeding generations. Things like family, liberty, faith, and love. That is why I speak to you tonight. We the people appreciate your efforts to fulfill our will in this matter by doing the right thing for the children. Thank you.
Thank you, Jared. For those of you here tonight or maybe at home wondering what Jerry's coming up here forward speaking about, last two board meetings, is that trying to find out what for sure is how the district's criteria is in putting new books into our libraries, no matter which building it is. And so we appreciate input from the community such as this, and we listen to it, we discuss it, and we appreciate that, Jerry. Thank you very much. We're going to go forward this evening. We have some presentations, this time of the month. We always have an opportunity to recognize special students, exemplary nights this evening. And I'm going to ask Francie if you get ready to present some awards to these students as I call their names. If you're here this evening, we would ask for you to come forward, get your reward, your award, and then stay up here standing so we can get a picture, okay? From the kindergarten, we have, is it Dagon Rick? Dagon, I'm sorry. Dagon? Sorry. My last name is Schneeman. There you go, right over here. You stay up here for us, okay? Thanks, Dagon. We have a Zarazander. Jordan Wilson from 3rd grade. Tara was from 2nd grade. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you from the grade. 4th grade, we have Ashlyn Mullen. 5th grade, we have Presley Wishman. 7th grade, we have Ian Jesse. from the 8th grade, we have Marcine Salmi. Did I get that one right? Let's give him a hand. Stay up here for the picture. As you can imagine, it's very difficult to be a student during this pandemic. A lot of the courses, some are at home, some here. Luckily, we've been able to have in-school attendance now for the last semester. We appreciate that.
Yeah, stay there. Any parents want to take pictures?
Any parents here would like to get a picture? We thank the parents, siblings, grandparents. We know it takes a family participation at times in education, and we appreciate all your effort in helping your students excel.
Okay.
Again, we get the reports, and hopefully they're on the monthly newsletter as well. A little bit of tidbit information about each student, how they excel, what it is that stands out about those students and their work. We couldn't have excellent students, exemplary nights, if we didn't have exemplary staff. And we want to appreciate a couple of people who are here this evening from our staff as well. From the Schneider building, we have Melissa Ward. There she is in the background. Everybody leaves when I'm calling you up, Liz. I'm sorry. And then we have from the intermediate junior high school, we have Sarah Ressler here with us this evening as well. We appreciate all your effort that you put forward as well.
Okay. Let's get a picture.
All right. Sarah and I were in the same grade at school. We're not as old as the four graduate from Jerry Hahn, but we are Blue Ridge, Farm City, Mansfield team squad. All right, thank you very much. We're going to have now a presentation from Jostens, and Troy Hall is here this evening, and his assistant, is it Jeannie?
Yep.
All right. Now, it could be that those of you who are watching remotely may not be able to see this part of the meeting, okay?
Okay. Well, yeah, so first off, thank you very much for the time tonight. Really do appreciate it. Again, my name's Troy Hall. This is my wife, Jeannie. We are your Jostens family. You know, we're a small business. We're based out of Downs, Illinois, right down the road from you. But what I'm here for today is have some fun. You know, I want to talk about the relationship and the partnership that the Hall family and Jostens and Blue Ridge High School has had for a very long time. But I just want to go back, and I want to take you back to 1912, and let's bring up Moore Township High School. You know, that's when it was founded here in Farmer City High School, or Farmer City, Illinois. And it went all the way up to 1971. And then Mansfield came in, and your Farmer City Mansfield, home of the Blue Devils. And you guys were Blue Devils up to 1985. Then Bellflower came in, and that's when, you know, Blue Ridge really kind of came to. But I kind of want to just stop right there. So in 1982, my dad, Tom Hall, moved down from northern Indiana to central Illinois to start his career with Jostens. And when he first started his career, Farmer City Mansfield and Bellflower, they were both a high school that he took care of. So when the consolidation came Bellflower came over to Farmer City, this is what I love. He got to sit down with the administration with forming Blue Ridge High School. He helped design the school crest that is still here to this day. You know, the crest that are on the graduation announcements that you see back there, the mugs, and the crest that you see all across, all around the high school. He also helped develop the night, you know, and what you guys felt the night stood for. He also helped develop the diplomas and covers. But in 1986, he got to help start a tradition and grow and build the tradition of what it means to be a Blue Ridge Knight. And those traditions still stand strong to this day. But now I just want to fast forward just a little bit to 2005. All right, this is when Jeannie and I came into Jostens. And we're still, of course, Jostens to this day. But what I'm getting at is the Hall family and Jostens, we've literally been partners with Blue Ridge High School since Blue Ridge became a high school. And even farther with the community since 1982 when Dad started. But now I just want to get into the different things that you've gotten from Jostens and the partnership that we have had over the past almost 40 years. And to start off is just a saying that's up here and some of you can't see it, but begin with the end in mind. This is a message that every time I'm in front of your students, I try to make them make them realize that, hey, the whole goal is that end, and that end is work as hard as you possibly can to walk across that stage in 4 years and get your high school diploma. But we've actually taken it a step farther, where we're not just talking to high school students. I'm actually starting this, begin with the end in mind, with your 8th graders. We do something called Commitment with Graduating. So in 2005, when I came into this business, my dad gave me one job. He's like, I want you to build something around 8th grade promotion. And that's what I did, Commitment to Graduate. So Commitment to Graduate is just a message. And it's a message trying to talk to the students about what the end is. And it's a message about make sure you're finishing your 8th grade year out strong. You know, do everything you need to get over to the high school. But then once you get into high school, make sure you're applying yourself in your academics. Get into extracurricular activities. Be present when you're in high school. And you're going to graduate on time. But I kind of tie some things into that on top of just that message. And it's with some apparel. I do some t-shirts, hoodies, and sweats, but it's all about their high school graduation year. So this year, it was all about 2025. And another step to that, on the class t-shirt, you know, it's got your night there, but on the back of the t-shirt, they all sign their names. And that's a commitment to themselves, to their parents, and to their school that they are going to stick to be part of the class of 2025. But then we move on to freshman year, and that's high school class rings. Guys, your class ring tradition is one of the best. Blue Ridge High School is one of the best in my territory. And what that says to me is, your students, they are proud to be a Blue Ridge Knight. You know, multiple rings that are ordered from me have that knight on there. They all put that blue stone because they're proud of being knights. But there is some other stuff that help keep that class ring tradition alive and strong. And one of them is Jostens. Guys, we are so innovative. The last 7 years, we have came out with something new for our students. You know, and just like we're talking about, you know, kind of freshening up the night, well, when you bring something new out, that keeps that tradition going. So 7 years ago, the first thing they came out with are the class tags. I made it a family tag. The next couple of years, they did some bracelets, lockets, some more necklaces, but this is the game changer. 2 years ago, they came out with the new class bands. It took over the market. They wanted something fresh, they wanted something new. Well, this hit the mark. But it was so popular that we came out with a ton of new options for the class band this year. Where you can now put color into the class band, like pink, blue, all different types of colors, different stones. You got the two-tone metals. It has been very popular, but this is how we keep the class ring tradition alive. Then sophomore, junior year, this is when letter jackets come into play. I actually started letter jackets here at Blue Ridge about 2 years ago. And since I've started really kind of let them know about it, your tradition is growing. But think about that. How else better is it to prove that you're a Blue Ridge Knight by having that varsity letter right there on your chest, got Knights on the back, all the patches that you've earned. You know, I love seeing your students walk in this school with their letter jackets on. Then, graduation. You know, the most important day of these students' high school careers. When they get to walk across that stage with their caps and gowns on and get their high school diploma. You know, when it comes to graduation, when you guys were walking, you probably saw all the new 2023 stuff back there, the mugs, the graduation announcements, and the caps and gowns. Yours is right in the middle. That's exactly what your guys' caps and gowns look like. I kind of surrounded it by some other schools in the area because things are getting a little more fancy, so people are decorating them up a little bit more. I just want you to know that there's a ton of options now. If you guys are looking for something new, let's have a conversation. But the last thing I want to bring up about graduation, over the last 40 years, and you know, since Blue Ridge High School has started, my dad and I have made sure that every one of your graduations has been perfect. We have made sure that every student that deserves to walk across that stage is dressed the way they need to be dressed. You know, and we know some people cannot afford caps and gowns. We will make sure they have cap and gown. Because that's what we care about. We care about students being able to celebrate the moments that matter. But now let's talk about how we're going to get more students to graduate from Blue Ridge High School. That's with Jocelyn's Renaissance. Guys, this is a resource that is open to you guys at no cost with the partnership with Jocelyn. This is probably hands down the best resource that we have to make sure that we can take care of climate and culture, social emotional issues that we have going on, student recognition, teacher recognition. There's leadership curriculum in this. Guys, it's awesome. But I just want to bring up one story about Jocelyn's Renaissance. So Pontiac High School decided a few years back that they wanted to truly implement Jocelyn's Renaissance. So they started, and when they first started, they were only graduating about 78% of their students. After 4 years of really digging into this and implementing it in their school, they are now graduating 96% of their students. It works. So if you have questions, come ask me. We'll make it happen. Something brand new is your school store. So this is a website that Jocelyn's has already created. All right, we've invested in everything that you need for this website. It's ready to go. It's live right now. But why I bring this up is because I think it's perfect for if we are going to refresh the night and we really want to market that night, this is going to be a great tool. But how this works is it's 24/7, 365. And we can push this website out to the community. People order online and it gets shipped right to their house. You don't have to do anything. All right, literally just push it out. Everything that is ordered on this web store, you guys get 12% back to the school. All right, so just wanted to bring that up. But now let's get into the rebranding, refreshing the night. I have to be honest with you. I don't think I've met with the right people that maybe are, really getting into this. I have not met with anybody. I watched the board meeting last month, and that's kind of how I got a gist of what you guys are looking for. It sounds like you're not really wanting to reinvent the night, but just, refreshing it up a little bit. But this is something that we have with Jocelyn's, and again, in our partnership, it doesn't cost anything, but it's called Schoolmark, and it's how we help you rebrand. I just did some legwork, just to show you what we can do. To start off, I have 5 different nights, just so you can see, and it is in those pamphlets that I gave to you. But the top one is one where, it's more like your night right now, where the plume is, kind of still disattached, and then, the visor's up. A little bit different on 2, and then 3, again, looks a little different, so that's more like rebranding. And then also check out the fonts that we did. So just different fonts, just to show you what we can do. And this is just the beginning steps. If I can meet with the people that we need to meet with, get their ideas, I can definitely refresh all of this. And then the last one that looks like that. And then how it looks kind of in your school, just some pictures on the windows. And then this is kind of the outside. Those are not your doors. Again, I can get proofs made up with your windows and everything like that. But I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of what we can do. All right, does anybody have any questions for me at all?
Do appreciate the 40-year partnership that we've had. I really like the new ring styles. I'm sure those are probably pretty hot. Do have to say from my own experience, I know with twins graduating back in 2017, it's pretty pricey to go through graduation with all the invitations and the robes and all that stuff and the rings. And we did have some issues with our invitations and stuff, but when we called you guys got corrected, didn't charge us for anything, got it right out to us. We appreciate that customer service that I don't think we would get with a larger firm, honestly. So
I appreciate that.
yeah.
And I'm sorry for that too, but I do.
No. I mean, it doesn't go perfect. We all know that. Things happen, but we appreciate the customer service.
Well, thank you.
I wasn't even aware that you did the wraps as well too, so.
Yeah, that's newer, and I do have some examples of some that we've done around at other schools, so if you ever want to see those, I can show you that too. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys very much. Again, I'd love to continue this partnership that we've had for so long. Jeannie and I are ready to help as much as we can.
All right.
Thanks for answering.
Thank you.
George. All right, moving forward with our communications. We had several letters come through. You saw those, had a chance to read those. Let's see, computer stopped. Oh, we have the FFA people. I'm sorry. Thanks, Carlos. You're so quiet.
That's a rarity.
I'm telling you what.
Yeah, it's a rarity. Do I need to press something to turn this on, or?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, awesome. So make sure you can hear. Hello, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Meisner. I'm the Ag Teacher and FFA Advisor here at Blue Ridge High School, and this is my 5th year that I've been teaching here. And I just want to say I absolutely love working here. I always brag about my job. I have the best bosses in the entire world, and I have some amazing students. So instead of you guys listening to me talk all the time, I wanted to pass it over to my FFA members, starting with Jayden Schaefer.
Good evening. The past 4 years, it has been my pleasure to attend here at Blue Ridge High School. I will be graduating here in a few short weeks, so you won't have to see me wandering around the school anymore. But it has been my pleasure this past year to not only serve as our chapter president, but also serve as our Section 16 president. We had one other member from our chapter this year, Gracie Myers-Nichols. She was also on the section officer team as the Sentinel. Whether many of you know this or not, I have had the opportunity and been selected as a top 10 candidate for major state office for the state of Illinois. So June 10th, I will be presenting to the delegates at the Illinois State FFA Convention in hopes that I will have the opportunity to serve as a major state officer this next year.
All right.
Again, thank you all for your support throughout my 4 years at high school. I know that my involvement here within the FFA program has been really eye-opening. It's given me some really great opportunities, and it's been truly eye-opening. It's been a true blessing to not only work with Ms. Meisner, but all the other individuals throughout the program. And once again, that cannot be done without your guys' support. And I'm going to turn it over to, I believe, Anna Place, and she will present a little bit more about this past year.
Hi, Morgan Droz will now pass out our year in review to you to look at as we talk to you about our year. My name is Anna Place, and I'm a sophomore here at Blue Ridge High School. And I've been elected this year as our 2021-2022 chapter vice president. And unfortunately tonight, our chapter president, Caleb Southern, is attending our sports banquet this evening. And along with that is also our elected treasurer, Hank Mitchell. So unfortunately, they can't be here tonight, but we have some good officers that are filling in for them. So now I'll pass it off to Sydney Roush, who is presenting our proficiencies and state and American degree candidates.
Thank you. Well, as you said, my name is Sydney Roush. I'm currently a sophomore here at Blue Ridge. I have been elected as the 2021-2022 Sentinel. I will be talking about proficiencies. This year we had 13 people compete at section, and we had in 20 different areas. We had 7 people move on to districts, and from there we had 4 people move on to state, where we had Jayton Schaefer, who won districts and state, and will be moving on to nationals. We, for state degrees, we have Abby Bolin, who will be receiving hers, and our American degree recipients will be Katie Cole and Ellie Palsrud, and they will be the first people to receive their American degrees from here since 2016. I'll be passing it off to Gracie Schaefer. Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Gracie Schaefer. Last year I served as your reporter, and this year I got elected again as your reporter, and tonight I'm going to talk about some major events that we had over this past year. We got with Mount Zion FFA and did a trivia night. We also, in our section, did a Section 16 Kahoot to kick off National Convention Week, and we also planned many fun FFA events during National FFA Week in late February. This year, we also just received some very good news. So every year we fill out a National Chapter Award, and this just highlights some major events that happened throughout this past year. And we got a gold rating, and for the second year in a row, and we are considered a premier chapter, meaning that we are in the top 1% of FFA chapters in Illinois. We will also be advancing to nationals for the second year in a row. This year, we also had our Growing Leaders Committee win section. Thank you. I'll be passing it off to Morgan.
Hello, my name is Morgan Droz, and this year in 2021 to 2022, I'm going to be serving as your chapter secretary, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of the classes that we've had this year. I will say it's been lots of fun, especially in my ag mechanics class, where we learned a little bit about how to do electrical wiring. I know I'm not going into a career like that, but it's pretty handy to know how to rewire some stuff if it were to go wrong. And I know several of the other students feel the same way, so thank you for supporting our classes. And I'm going to be handing it off to Brenna Friel.
Hi, my name is Brenna Friel. I'm going to be serving as a 2021-2022 historian. So I'm going to be talking about CDEs that we've done this year. We have participated in 14 different CDEs, and we have placed top 5 in over half of them. So for our conduct of chapter team, we placed first for section, and then we went on to districts, and we placed top 2. And on this Saturday, we will be competing at state. Our parliamentary procedure went to districts, and for the fifth time in a row, like each year. And then we also placed first at state at garden meet. And I will be passing off to Anna Place to close.
All right, I'd just like to say thank you all for in the past years, all your support for us and the entire ag community and organization and our chapter specifically. And I hope to see that continuous support in future years, so thank you.
Jack, I have a question for you. So how many students do you see actually involved each year? Jacqueline, either one, but how many students do you see involved in the FFA, do you think, in the district?
Within our district, this year we had 35 high school.
There's 42
42.
paid FFA members, and in that there's 38 in the high school.
That's incredible. Because years ago, FFA was just for farm people. I remember going through school, it just, if you didn't work on a farm, then you didn't really belong, you felt you didn't belong there, but it's changed, and it is an excellent program. You're definitely a premier chapter, that's for sure. Appreciate all your hard work and efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. I
Thank
know
you.
something that they missed, Jane's also competing at state in extemporaneous public speaking this Saturday as well, so we're incredibly excited to have several of our groups competing and advancing a state.
All right.
So yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what Dale was saying and to say your program is definitely a bright shining star of our district. It's
It is.
something that everyone here is very, very proud of, and your hard work does not go unnoticed. And the way the students are able to like conduct themselves and speak, that's going to serve them very well for years in advance. Jake and I don't know if you remember, you came to this board when you were much younger regarding your basketball program, and you guys were renting the gym. And you spoke very well then, but now you speak now. You will go very far with what you've learned. Like, I remember you presenting, it was probably about 7 years ago, but you stood up in front of all of us and spoke. So.
It was 7 years and about, 2 feet shorter ago, right?
Yeah, you would have been able to see over that, but yeah, I do remember when you did that, so, yeah.
Yes, the majority of our students actually do not come from a farming background. On our officer team, our upcoming officer team for this upcoming year, only 2, I believe, are actually three are actually farm kids of the 7 that are on officers. So less than half of the officer team are farm kids. So it's really exciting to see that we have so many students that advance on, and kids that get their state degree and American degree that do not come from the agriculture background, but they find their place in the ag room.
Right, and there's a lot of ag-related occupations out there, and I don't think the students realize that it's a goal, it's something they can achieve.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Now we go with the communications that you had. Hey, welcome, Jason. So you saw the communication letters. Anything more you need to add to that, Hillary?
I'll just say that we can talk at good of a cause about the email from Kenny Henshaw about the possibility of a memorial naming.
Okay. Committee reports.
So we had the facilities committee that met tonight, and we talked about some remodeling that we would like to do over the summertime. We do have an additional position that may be approved tonight of an assistant interim principal at the high school. And we were looking at bringing our counselor that's shared between the high school and the Snyder closer to Leslie Hieronymus's office, and having Mary Diener potentially closer to Brian Easter's office. And then we were looking for some space for Paige Trimble when she's on the Farmer City campus. And so we've made some suggestions that we can take a look at in new business just a little bit later. But we have proposed that we would take the existing high school conference room and turn that into 2 offices, one for the counselor and one for the assistant principal. And then we would take the computer lab in this main hallway just before the restroom, use that as our conference room space. That would displace 1 hour of teaching, which we could move to another location. And then we would have Paige Trimble share the library office space directly in front of me right now with Sylvia Allen. Both would be part-time in those rooms, but they would be able to, they would probably be the most flexible with being able to share that space. So we can do some action on that a little bit later.
Okay. Administrative reports. You're up again, Dr.
That would be me, okay. So we've been working on a big compliance project. Multiple people in the district have been working on that. And I will say that it's been, although it's a very large and time-consuming task, it's been a very good task as a new superintendent to go through a lot of the policy in great detail to make sure that we're not only making admin and teachers aware of that policy, but also pushing things out to the community and preparing letters for registration that deal with policy. Seems to be very appropriate for us at this point. A lot of time from the admin team has been spent on summer school prep. That's going to be new for us this year. That's going to be happening in each of our 3 buildings. In addition to the extra 2 programs going on at Snyder Elementary, the summer reading program and the kindergarten jumpstart, which are from a separate grant. And those existed last year, but summer school in June is a new piece for everybody. And we have the Pfizer vaccine coming to 16 years old and older. 25 students were signed up a couple weeks ago, and that comes tomorrow morning. So that'll be round 2. And today, if you notice, we pushed out notification that Pfizer has now been approved for age 12 and older. And so we are promoting sign up through Gibson Area Hospital. So that was just pushed out for families today. And I think they have 3 upcoming dose 1 clinics, and of course the accompanying 3 dose 2 clinics. And that's my report.
Any questions? This is Ryan.
Hello. I'll highlight a few things tonight. Some of them are on my board report, some are not. One is Fontes de Pinel training. On our April SIP day, we were able to explore the new Fontes de Pinel reading curriculum that we've been adopting. And basically, we've been able to learn a variety of best practices on how to implement and kind of integrate all these different programs into our ELA. And so that is something that will be a great foundation for this summer as we begin planning our ELA curriculum apps. So we're doing some good work there. Pre-K screenings, anytime we're streaming, I always like to plug the pre-K program and screenings. So we do have screenings for July 29th and 30th. If you have a 3 or 4-year-old that has not turned 5 before September 1st, please call the Snyder office. Y-Zone, that's something I wanted just to share with you. We have a Y-Zone currently. It wasn't something that we were able to kind of get up and running until February, but it is an after-school program that we offer, that we do a partnership with the Y from Clinton. We are very excited. We've done some work this spring and able to get a partnership where they are interested in doing both a before and after-school program for K through 5 students. This was something that we had heard from the community, and they had we had some interest there, and so we're excited about that community service and offering that in the fall. We've done some social media work already, and we did some flyers and the book bags going out, but we'll continue to put out information throughout the summer to help with some before and after school. I know personally I've been through 3 daycares in the last year, and so I know there's a lot of need out there. And then let's see, just Dr. Stanford talked about it, but we've been very busy planning with summer school opportunities. We have those 3 learning opportunities. We're very thankful that ESSER grant is going to cover summer school, which is awesome. That'll really be a focus on math and ELA, 3 hours of instruction daily. The summer reading program, that'll be the 26th through the 30th of July as a kind of way to jumpstart our learners coming back into that reading component, really focusing on our 5 pillars: phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, comprehension, and vocabulary. So we're really focused on hitting those incoming 3rd graders and 2nd graders when we return in the fall. And then last but not least is Kindergarten Jumpstart. That's paid out of the 1003A grant, but that's just a great opportunity for kids to get into the building, meet teachers, explore the building, and learn some routines and expectations. So any questions for me?
Appreciate that. And I think I drove by the school, was it Wednesday last week during Teachers Appreciation Week, and there was a food truck.
Yeah, so I meant to give a shout out. I'll give my shout out to PIE now. But yeah, they did an amazing job. Our community has really come together when we have these type of opportunities to appreciate our teachers. I mean, every day last week, whether it was a lunch provided, whether it was shakes from Dewey's, whether it was bringing in ice cream trucks, I mean, desserts, breakfast in the morning, they did an excellent job of coordinating and bringing and putting all that together. Jill Hardesty did an awesome job planning and putting together the ice cream truck that came on Wednesday, and the teachers loved it. So yeah, we're very thankful for the community and what they provide for our teachers.
Next year I'll stop. I won't stop.
I'll put you on the email for next year, Dale.
Put a push on the district thing so I don't know it's okay. Thanks. Let's see here. Katie, please.
Okay. Good evening. We have been also very busy arranging for our summer session. We will have several spots still available in all grades, so if there's anyone out there that is interested, they could contact me. Okay. Also, my students in 4th through 6th grade will be participating in a research study with U of I that last week of school. Ultimately, it is through art, but the ultimate goal is to learn about agriculture processes and to inform agriculture processes for the future. On May 25th, the band program will happen in person for 5th through 12th grade. Normally, Mr. Mitchell does a Springs Pop concert at my building for 5 through 8, and then the high school has a separate. He's going to combine them all, and we're going to get to do something in person on the football field that night. Our teachers just finished up the IAR and ISA testing, so we are all done with our state testing finally, and I want to thank my staff for all their hard work during that to get that accomplished. And also a thank you to our boosters for all of the things they provided for my staff last week during Teacher Appreciation Week. It was wonderful to see all of the different things that they did every day. We had masks one day, we had gift cards to Amazon, so everyone loves to go shopping, right? We had lunch one day, so we do appreciate everything they did for us. Do you have any questions?
Thank you. Lois, you're the spokesperson.
Good evening. We've been extremely busy in the last couple weeks. So we've had National Honor Society and Honors Night, which was on the 6th of May. And we were able to do that in person with our seniors and then distributed the rest of the honors and awards to our underclassmen in the classrooms. We've also had homecoming one week and prom the next, so it was extremely busy. We only had post-prom activities though due to COVID and other regulations that we've had. Our seniors' last day is May 19th, so they are definitely counting the days, and I think it's actually counting on the board after behind you as well for the seniors and I guess the underclassmen too. So graduation is May 21st at 2 o'clock, and we are really looking forward to that, and hoping that our plans go smoothly, to say the least. So many things have happened with FFA. They've also had their banquet, which was outside, and they just do a tremendous job all the way around. They're very professional, and you know, our kids have grown so much through that program, and so I don't have to repeat all the accolades that they have done, but you know, we are very proud of them. Also during that time, the art department participated in the Love for Arts, and they were able to participate in that at Blue Ridge, and they've got tons of awards in doing that. And so like 10 students were recognized and got awards within that program. So just a couple in the midst of, you know, between board meetings as well, we finished up our fall sports. Mr. Miles celebrated his 300th career win in volleyball, which is quite an accolade. Two of our volleyball girls, Gracie Schaefer and Nadia Beadle, were all conference, and we had sports awards going on simultaneously with this as well this evening, so it has been very busy, to say the least, lately. For teacher appreciation, our student council really stepped up and provided things for the teachers, and also Sarah Ringel's classroom also did treats for us as well, and so that also is greatly appreciated. And then we are in the process of planning for summer school. It is for credit recovery, and so we still have some logistics to work out, but we're in the process of doing that. So, any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. It can rain all at once too on graduation, because we'll be indoors, right?
That is correct.
Well, I feel some schools will be outside, but we'll be indoors.
You're right.
All right. Okay, we're going to curriculum. Do we have anything to add? Paige?
I don't have anything in addition to add, but I think you could see a theme with everyone who talked was the word is busy. I didn't think August could get any busier until I hit this month, and I was wrong. It's definitely a lot busier. I know that the principals highlighted some of our work on April 26th. I feel like it was really beneficial to the teachers. We had a wide variety of different events and presentations that Katie and Ryan referenced earlier. And then I just wanted to highlight that we did get our ESSER 2 grant approved. That was for around, yes, yay, $406,000. And like Ryan and Katie both mentioned, that will cover 2 years of summer school, as well as a lot of the HVAC work and installation at Blue Ridge Intermediate and Junior High. So that's exciting, and we have ESSER 3 coming down the pike, opening on July 1st. So I'm going to start working on those budgets now.
And Paige does, it's absolutely outstanding coordinating all that. It's not an easy task whatsoever. She does an excellent job for us. I'm very thankful.
Well, thank you. That was the biggest one I've done so far, until July. So, yeah, any questions?
If you don't put in, you don't get it. Right? So
Yeah.
appreciate that effort,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Yeah, no problem, thank you.
I think that's all on the technology and the operations, maintenance, and transportation fleet services. You've seen those reports in your packet. Do you have any questions on those? All right. Moving forward to approval of consent items, I need a motion, a second to approve the consent item agenda list listed on attachment A as presented. Nancy?
Second.
Hannah? Roll call?
Yes. Hannah Johnson? Yes. Carlos Burton?
Yes.
Chelsea Wilson? Yes. Jason Nolan?
Yes.
Dale Shannon?
Yes. Going on to new business, is there anything on the first reading of the press?
Just administrative procedures that support policy 7:345, which was already approved, and this is all about Student Online Personal Protection Act, so nothing really there to discuss. It's just a matter of supporting documents, and we can approve next month.
Okay, and then moving on to the approval to create 2 office spaces in the existing Blue Ridge High School conference room.
Okay, so this is what we talked about a little bit earlier when we did our committee reports. And so we were looking for approval for O&M staff to do basically 2 perpendicular walls with 1 door in each wall, so we can divide the current Blue Ridge High School conference room into 2 spaces.
Are there any questions concerning that? Facilities Committee toured that area and gave questions to Greg and Dr. Stanford, and it looked like it was gonna be the best thing to do. Need a motion, the price for that was, as you saw, it was gonna be between $2,000 and $3,000. And hopefully, if the wood doesn't show up, we'll use, frames. So Carlos, made a motion, I need a second to approve the remodeling of the Blue Ridge High School conference room into 2 office spaces as presented. Carlos motioned.
Second.
Francie. Roll call.
Chelsea Wilson? Yes. Jason Nolan?
Yes.
Francie Miller? Yes. Hannah Johnson? Yes. Carlos Burton?
Yes.
Dale Shannon?
Yes. Discuss for approving letting bids for District Milk. Need a motion, a second to approve the letting bids for District Milk products supplied to Blue Ridge Community Unit School District number 18 for the 21-22 school term as presented. Nancy. Carlos. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Now we're going into a closed session. I need a motion and a second to move from open session to closed session for the purpose of appointment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, ongoing, pending, or probable litigations of the district at 7:54 p.m. Who got that? Chelsea and Carlos, you want to second it?
Hannah Johnson? Yes. Carlos Burton?
Yes.
Chelsea Wilson? Yes. Jason Nolan?
Yes.
Francie Miller? Yes. Dale Shannon?
Yes. Just take this moment, board, take a moment to go back real quick before Troy packs up those other gowns for graduation, if you want to look at those real quick, real